Yo YouTube! This is my video for Monday the 30th of June, and it's obviously the last day of June. I've not had the greatest ability to work this month, and I'll talk about that a bit later on, the consequences of that. But for today I have now finally got myself a job. So I was sort of looking for work sort of in earnest from around about 8:30. I was probably ready to leave the house about 9. And the time now is just gone 10 o'clock. So probably a good hour of looking for jobs. And I was bidding on, a reasonable number. I probably bid on about 5 jobs this morning. All of them were quite far away. So the nearest was the nearest was Peterborough, so half an hour away. But I was not getting anything, and I was beginning to think I might have to go cheap to get a job. But then I did get this job, which is an interesting one. It's going to be picking up from just east of Wisbech and taking some hampers down to Luton to 4 different drop-offs, and it's on the CX as a medium wheelbase van job, and I've bid effectively a half a day rate, so £150, 150, and I got the job. I did check with the guy, was there any manual handling, and he mentioned that there were some hampers that would be delivered, but there would be help at each point, and so I felt that I could cope with that. We'll see. I'm pretty confident. I mean, if it's just 4 hampers in my van, there is 4 different addresses, I think that should be fine. And yeah, so I'm on my way to there, and I'm glad to have this job. I'm probably going to have to move away from Luton to get my second job of the day. My plan at the moment is just to head north towards Milton Keynes or Northampton and just see whether I can pick up anything there. I don't know when I'll be finished with this job. I'll be picking up at around about 11. So we shall see how it goes. Now, the only thing I wanted to sort of catch you up on is a bit about money. I have now got my reminder for my CX membership. It's about £496, I think, if I remember correctly, for a quarter. So I'm now doing it quarterly. And then at the end of August I have to pay for my insurance, and I usually pay for that in one lump sum. But because of June being particularly quiet for me for a variety of reasons, I think I'm going to have to move it to being a monthly payment to help with my cash flow. And then the other thing I'm going to be aware of is in the first week of June, about 7th or so, for the first week of July, about the 7th or so. So the other thing to bear in mind is in the first week of July, around about the 7th, my van's going in to have a service and also a repair. It needs a new drive shaft, which I think will be reasonably expensive. Last time I had these replaced, they were both done pretty much at the same time, but we're going to see. Gary's going to look at it this time and see if they both need doing or not. One of them is definitely rattling, which my garage mechanic noticed last time. I noticed it, but I kind of just ignored it. I didn't really kind of pay much attention, which is not surprising for me, and that's why I have a good mechanic who will spot these things for me. So yeah, so that's going to be a reasonably expensive couple of months, and I don't really now have the spare money. I have enough money in my savings that I built up of that sort of this year to probably cover my repair outright and pay for my CX, but I can't also then pay for my full year's insurance, so I should be fine. Just got to get that done on a monthly basis, and then hopefully in July I can get back to a reasonably consistent working pattern, and then build up my reserves a bit more. I feel reasonably optimistic about this. Friday was a good day. Obviously last week was very hit and miss. I had 2 really poor days and 2 pretty good days. So I think that the secret at the moment, because working off the CX is really quite tough, I'm just going to have to be a bit more flexible about my pricing, I think, to get the work. What I mean by that is being more flexible quicker. So rather than sort of spending an hour bidding at the prices I would want, if after sort of 10 minutes I'm not getting getting the price, I might need to, if after about 10 minutes I'm not getting jobs and I'm bidding at that price, I think I might need to go a bit lower quicker, just to sort of maximise my ability to earn money. But it's all very well saying that in theory. In practice, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll just play it by ear on the day. A lot of what I do is stick to by mood and perception. It's not a hard science. It's very much an art as to how you price these things. And at the end of the day, if I earn enough money at the end of the week, then it's worked. If I don't, it hasn't. So let's see how it goes this week. In a moment I'm going to do a video for more my autistic playlist. I've got a few things to update about that, but I'll do that separate video. So in this particular stream I shall next let you know what's happening, probably when I'm on the way down to Luton. Oh, there's a bus, better stop for that. Anyway, see you later. Hi there YouTube, so it's now 10 past 11. I'm on my way to the Luton area. I've got 4 stops to drop off these boxes. The first one is Luton, the second one is Dunstable, the third one is Eaton Bray, don't know what that is, it's an LU6 postcode, and the fourth one is Leighton Buzzard. And I need to do them in a certain order, and there are a lot of boxes on my van. The 4 stops have filled my van up, so I did have basically help. Mainly, I started helping and then left them to it loading up. There was 2 people loading up, and I'm hoping that when I get to the other end at each stop there is someone fit and able to help unload. Some of the boxes are very heavy, heavier than I can carry, and there's a lot of them. It's probably in the region of 40 boxes in my van, and so it's going to be a struggle for me to do it by myself, but there should be help at each point, so I'm not too concerned. I'm more concerned really about the having to explain that I can't do it, and maybe the judgment that might come of it, rather than the actual physical problems. Because physical problems I can do what I can do, and then I have to stop. But telling someone I can't really help and sitting there just watching them is quite awkward sometimes. But most people are fine if you just explain a little bit about what's going on. Most people are fine. I think that I'm going to be finished in the region of 2:30, 3 o'clock today. So I'm not going to have a lot of chance to get a second job. I'm hoping to get something small, just to nudge me over the £200 gross figure for today. And I think I'll accept that for today. And then tomorrow I'm back on the road. So I'll let you know how it goes. And oh yeah, the other thing I haven't mentioned yet, but if you're out and about on the 30th of June, you may remember it's really hot today. My van is currently saying 28 degrees Celsius, which is way too hot for me. I don't have air conditioning except for the window to my right, which I'm going to open in a moment. And the only thing I've done today to mitigate the heat problems is I've brought with me a small bottle of water that's frozen, so I'll have cold water throughout the day. But other than that, I've got long trousers on, I've got my boots on. I'm wearing a t-shirt, I suppose, rather than a long sleeve shirt. Even I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I wonder if I should become the courier that does couriering in a waistcoat and shirt, just to be different. Part of me thinks that'd be great, part of me thinks it'd be ridiculous, but I'm not going to do it, but I'm so close to trying it out. I do like waistcoats. Anyway, I'll let you go with your day, and I'll let you know how it goes. Cheers! Hello there, YouTube. So I'm just going to close my window. Quick update. I've done my first drop off in Luton, and I dropped off the 4 boxes, and then I picked up 5 extra ones for my next stop. The only thing of note that I wanted to share with you was that the lady I was picking up from at this first stop and dropping off to was reasonably frail. She did help with some of the lighter boxes, but it's a situation where I thought, actually, probably I'm as bad as you are when it comes to lifting heavy boxes. But you know, my male ego and customer service ego means I had to just pretend it was all fine and just ignore the fact that I was struggling with the heavy boxes. They weren't that heavy, to be honest, but it's a very, very hot day today, and so I just took it really steady. She offered if I wanted a drink, which was really nice of her, and in the end I declined the drink because I got that, but I did utilise her toilet, which was very helpful. So she's a really nice lady. I'm very pleased that I could complete the job without too much palaver. And now I'm on to my next drop, which is 20 minutes away, about 9 miles. And the only thing to add to that is it's now 30 degrees Celsius. That is ridiculous. I can't function in 30 degrees Celsius. Well, I'm going to have to today, but it's not nice. So I'm going to open the window again now and carry on. I hope that you're all well. Cheers. So it's now 3:15. I finished my last stop in Leighton Buzzard at 2:30. I've been hanging around for 20 minutes trying to find a job. It's way too hot not to be moving, so I'm just going to trundle back towards Bedford, meeting Milton Keynes, Bedford, and probably just end up keep going home. It's really sweaty in my cab, and I just don't know if I can hold out for an hour or so in this weather. So I'm just going to get this video done, get this window open again, and then start driving back towards home. Home's about an hour and a half away from here, so I might end up just going back and having a very early day. Bearing in mind the temperature today, that would seem to be not a bad idea. So yeah, okay, so hopefully I'll get a little job. A lot of the jobs are on CX for tomorrow. They're in this area, and a few, there was half an hour going southwards, which I'm not going to do. So I need to find something going vaguely in the right direction, vaguely northwards. Cheers! Hello YouTube! Well, it's got hotter. It's now 32 degrees Celsius. I'm currently driving up towards Bedford. I do not believe I'm going to get another job, but I am still looking, and I've got about an hour and 20 minutes before I get home, so that would be about 4:45. At the moment, I'm just thinking about, as I was saying, when I said the words "in the moment," I thought about going to a shop and getting some choc ices, and that distracted me. And I think I'm going to do that. The idea of going home, stripping off in front of a fan with some choc ices, it seems very much more appealing than getting a job from Peterborough to St Ives. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't like to give up, but it's too hot for me. So I will keep looking as I drive along. If I happen to get a perfect job come up, I'll bid on it. But I know that it's a very slim chance I'll get any more work. Tomorrow morning we're doing therapy, but then I will be available for working after that. So maybe I'll get a job tomorrow to make up for today a bit. Anyway, it's way too hot for me. I'm going to open the windows now because I want you to hear what it's like noise-wise, because really I won't be doing my videos with the windows open really. I'm just not sure you can hear me. I can barely hear myself. Oh, that's nice though. So I'll let you enjoy the A421 between the M1 and Bedford, and I'm going to join the A1 to go up to Peterborough. I just need to find a shop on the way. Anyway, probably won't speak to you again. That's probably going to be it now. I'll be back on the road tomorrow afternoon. Farewell, friends. So, if you have a look at front there, there's a little boy on his trike. He might be waving at me actually. Yeah, they're waving. I've just pulled in to a petrol station just to get a drink and an ice lolly because it's so hot. My diction is so bad. I went for a Solero, and I went for a Solero because I remember many decades ago when I was doing some sort of D&V walk for school, so sort of in late teenage years. I remember saying to myself, on a really hot day on a walk, I would kill for a Solero, and I think I probably was close to meaning that literally. So Soleros have they have a weird place in my heart. That's a memory that I had of me being so hot and just desiring this item that had a dreamlike qualities to it. I'm assuming you all know what Solero is. This looks a bit smaller than I remember, but I'll try and show you on my screen. So this is an exotic fruit Solero. It's got ice cream inside. It's kind of got an orangey flavour outside. So I'm gonna eat that while I'm talking to you. Now, the problem I had was because I went to a petrol station. They only sold these in packs of 3, and there's very limited choice of anything else. And it just so happens that I've got a job, which I'll tell you about in a moment. And so I was wondering, what am I going to do? I can't really eat all 3. That's not good for me health-wise, and they're going to melt. But as I was walking out of the garage, in front of me was a mum pushing a pushchair with 2 toddlers who had sort of scooters. And I thought, I could offer it to them, couldn't I? And that's what I thought, and usually I would ignore that thought because it involves talking to people. But I thought on this occasion I can't really go wrong from just giving out free stuff to strangers. And it's to their mum, not to them directly. And she could see that I had the packet in my hand, not opened. So I said, excuse me, I've got these 3, I can't eat them all right now. Would your children like to have one each? And she said something which I didn't really hear, and I said that's fine, I can't eat them all. And then she was very thankful and took them off me, and she had some ice products in her pram, but obviously the kids were very pleased to have these. Well, the kids were a bit shy, to be honest. They didn't really know what's going on, but I felt like I did a good thing there. I supplied strangers, 2 kids who were strangers to me, with iced inducements. Doesn't sound quite as good when I say that way, does it? Anyway, they went off. I got in my van, and then as I came around the corner, they were standing there watching me come around the corner, and they waved. It was very nice. So maybe I've changed my memory of Soleros to this now, where I was able to be the benefactor to 2 young children of iced goods on a really hot day, rather than me wanting to kill something to get a Solero. Right, that's my long preamble into my news, which is, guess what, YouTube? I've only gone and got a job. Fruity. So on the way back up home, up the A1, a job came up going from Wisbech, which I was about 45 minutes from, going to Grimsby. And it's what job I've seen before. It was for a medium wheelbase van, and the loaded miles is 82 loaded miles. But basically what I'll be doing is going Wisbech to Grimsby, Grimsby to home. That'll be the last job of the day. So I thought, what would I do this for? And I thought, really, ideally, £150, 150, because that'll mean I'll have made my 300 for the day. So I was going to bid 150, but I thought that's probably pushing it too much. So I'll just take off a nominal amount. I took off £10, made it 140. And I got a call about 10 minutes later, and I've been offered the job. Now, I probably would have got it at 150, but I think 140 is a fair price, and it's about a 2-hour trip up to Grimsby and a 2-hour trip down. So I got 4 hours out of my day. So I'll have a reasonably full-on day. I will have made what I would consider to be a full day's earnings. It's going to be in the region of, I think, of 240, maybe 235 after fuel. So I can't really complain about that. That's really good. So yeah, so I'm going to enjoy my Solero and my Oasis drink while I get myself to Wisbech, and then do this job, satisfied that I'm a reasonable human being and I've earned a reasonable amount of money. Right, just a quick update. It's now just literally past 5 o'clock. I've picked up the load from Wisbech and I'm now on my way to Grimsby. It's exactly 2 hours to get there. Currently 80 miles loaded. I've done about a mile. And so I should be home something like 9:15, 9:30. Okay, so yeah, all's well so far. I'm pleased with that second job, and I'll do some stats next time I talk to you. It'll still be light at 7 o'clock on my way back, so it'll be nice. It should be, hopefully be cool now. It's a quick check. It's still 32 degrees Celsius, so hopefully next time I talk to you it'll be more like 28 again. Right, cheers. Why, hello there YouTube, I'm back. It's now a much more reasonable 24 degrees Celsius, and I'm on my way back home from Grimsby now. It's currently nearly 7:30 in the evening, and that drop off went really well. And now I've got about an hour and 20 minutes to get home. I'll be home before 9 o'clock. So it's been quite an eventful day in the end, and quite a productive day, money-wise. So I've got some stats for you. I shall start off with telling you my average fuel price is exactly 14 pence per mile. And that will go up when the next fill up, because the fuel is going up each week. So today, by the time I get home, I will have driven 350 miles, 350. I will have worked for 11 hours and a quarter, and I've managed to earn surprisingly, £290, 290, from 2 CX jobs. My fuel for today is £49, and so that means that I have made net today £241. So I'm really pleased with that. Anything between £200 and £250 net in a day, I'm very happy with. And to be fair, I probably could have got an extra tenner for this last job, but as I said before, I don't mind the fact that I got it for £140. So I'm driving home now on this lovely evening, and I'm going to be next on the road tomorrow late morning and just try and eke out something. It won't be a full day, so maybe £150 I can get would be good. Yeah, so to be fair, if I can earn around about £75 net tomorrow, then that will cover my business costs for this week. So anything I earn on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be profit for me. So I should get a pretty good week this week, but you know what it's like. It's all very up and down, isn't it, at the moment on CX. But whatever happens, I'll let you know. So I hope that you are all doing well and being successful. Thank you for listening to my video. Farewell, friends.